Hi everyone and welcome along. Now today we have got a flower painted in possibly the easiest tutorial I've ever done on the anemone or any flower for that matter. This is a wonderful starter project for anyone who's new to flowers or really wants to have a bit of help with their water control and maybe loosen up your style. So let's see what we need to get started. To paint these stunningly simple anemones, you will need cold pressed watercolour paper. Mine is 7 by 6 inches. Pointed round brushes, size 6 and size 2. Colours I used: alizarin crimson, moon glow, green gold, sap green, burnt sienna. A jar of water, paper towel for blotting off your brushes. Grab your paints and let's get started. Anemones were the first flower that I painted and really felt excited by watercolour flower painting, and excited to think that I had an opinion on like how to paint it, like that I felt like I could offer something in terms of teaching flowers. And what's lovely is as my style's evolved and I've learned new teaching techniques and things, the anemone is just a really great flower to base your teaching on. And so today I'm just sort of waking up this alizarin crimson here because I want to have it really sort of woken up but still quite concentrated. And to get a sort of fine tip on my brush, I'm just going to dab it on the edge of the palette there. And what I'm going to do with my size 6 brush is I am going to paint a series of little sort of pigment-filled dots like that. And then I'm going to clean off my brush. And my brush is still really wet, but it's, again, I haven't got like a big drop of water on the end of it. It's just wet but dabbed off. And I'm going to use the colour in the pigment just to touch it like that and be able to fan out the brush and the bristles of the brush to make some lovely petal shapes. So I'm just using water each time, and I'm fanning out the bristles of the brush, just allowing them to just touch the edge of some of those circles. And there's so much pigment there. And you can see I've got the brush angled low to the page. And I can just squeeze in one more there. And I honestly feel like these very simple techniques make some of the most beautiful flowers I've ever painted. So I'm going to do that process again for you and think about maybe could you try this yourself at home in your little sketchbook. And the great thing is this is just a great exercise in water control. Getting a really sort of watery mixed up colour there, but then also being able to clean your brush off and get it nice and wet, but being able to control, there we go, really fanning out the brush, and then I just do a second stroke and then just sort of clean it up a little bit. And the good thing is this is such a useful exercise for you to see if you're making flowers and the water is going everywhere and the blends are really crazy, then that is a sign that there's too much water on your brush, and you just need to make sure you're really dabbing it off on the edge of the water jar when you paint. You'll notice that my 5th petal is always just about not touching the other ones, and that's because I like to always try and squeeze in the 5th petal, but it always feels like it's a bit tight, but it makes it look like a really proper flower. And I'm just going to allow that one to just touch there and there. Lovely. I'm going to do one more. Now also, if your flowers are looking just really quite dark and heavy in colour, like you've put the dots down, fine, but then when you put your petals down, they also look really dark as well. That will be because you're not cleaning your brush off cleanly enough, because we need to make sure, you see with blotting it on the page there, that you're picking up clear water each time. fanning that bristle brush out, right out. And it's just a really fun, satisfying project to do. But it's also actually creating some really quite lifelike looking flowers. And then here comes the fifth one. I mean, you could blend it all in. What you'll notice though is the key thing is how the petals all start off quite slender. You can see there's little gaps in between them, a bit like sort of going in like a balloon ties off at the end. Now that's one thing, but I want to just elevate our flowers a little further. So anemones have those very strong dark centres. If I take some moon glow, now this is dried, but if I take some moon glow and just sort of dab it into the middle like that, then I can actually turn this flower into something a little bit more proper. But I also want to just show you what happens if you sort of paint this colour in on different stages of dried petal, because you might be lucky enough to get one or two little bits of actual colour blend going on. But it's a warm day here, so the beauty of this project is it's not going to run away with us. We get a tiny little blend, which is quite fun. And then we can turn this into an actual lovely flower piece, which is great. It's always nice when your practices can turn into something really gorgeous. So anemones have this sort of collar of frilly sepals just underneath, so just taking a mixture of green gold and sap green and just flicking the brush, size 2 brush, keeping things nice and light. And then I'll just add in a little bit of a burnt sienna brown just to get, and actually a little bit of alizarin crimson actually into that green. Gives it a lovely desaturated colour for the stem. And there we have a really great, very, very simple exercise for you to practice your petal painting, your water control, all the while giving you a really cool flower painting in just minutes. I really hope you enjoyed that, and if you do enjoy flower painting taken from a sort of fairly simple standpoint, then you're going to absolutely love New Botanical Painting. And the cool thing is, at the moment, any book order is getting a beautiful little free bookmark thrown in at the same time while stocks last. We've been launching our beautiful note cards, all inspired by the mini flower tutorials I was doing last year, and I thought, wouldn't it be nice as a little extra gift for you all to say thank you so much for all your support over the years. Any new book orders on my website or on Etsy are going to get a little bookmark thrown in while stocks last, and I know they've been flying out the door. There aren't many, but you could get yourself a little extra gift with your purchase. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing really, really helps us just grow, spread the word of wonderful watercolour. I'll see you again next time. Bye!